Avenir is a global career guidance event to empower students and assist them in identifying their ideal future career path. It was conceptualized by the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Sultanate of Oman. The first Avenir was organized at Indian School Al Mabala in the year 2018. In 2019, Indian School El Seeb conducted the program. Indian School Muscat conducted the first virtual Avenir in the year 2020. Avenir 2021 was conducted virtually by Indian School Al Wadi Al Kabir. In 2022, the flagship school in Oman. Indian School Bosher is all set to fly the flag higher by conducting Avenir 2022 in hybrid mode. Our impeccable planning, devoted team, unmatched resources guarantee a memorable event. The 5-day event will be held from Thursday, October 13, 2022 to Tuesday, October 18, 2022. Prominent achievers, educators, and industry experts will address the audience. Universities and educational institutes from different corners of the globe will present themselves to the audience of Avenir 2022. The event is open to all educational boards, including CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB. It will provide comprehensive career guidance to students to pursue their passions at national and international universities. Avenir 2022 guarantees a wealth of information and awareness on 21st century courses, scholarships, internships, and career placements. This event will assist students in discovering their ideal future career path. Let us gather together for this 5 days of excitement, effulgence, enlightenment, exploration, and exaltation. Let's join Avenir 2022 to discover you.
The arts are an essential element of education, just like reading, writing, and arithmetic. Music, dance, painting, and theater are all keys that unlock profound human understanding and accomplishment. Good morning, one and all. Let me walk you over the listings for the session we have today. The mega event, Avenir 2022, #Discover You, hosted by Indian School Bausha under the aegis of Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. A short introduction of our distinguished speaker will appear after the welcoming message. We will then invite the distinguished speaker to make her presentation. Following the lecture, we'll ask our special guest to participate in the Q&A segment, where the questions of the audience will be put forth by the moderator. The university representative will take up on the ongoing session. There will be a description of the courses that are offered and the admissions procedure. With a vote of thanks, we will call this meeting to a close.
To encourage literature and the arts is a duty which every good citizen owes to his country. What a great opening go to the session. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Welcome to Avenir 2022, #Discover You, a global career guidance program launched by the Indian School Basha under the aegis of Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman. On behalf of Indian School Basha, I, Valentia of Grade 10,
and I, Adelicia of Grade 8,
take the proud privilege of expressing our profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Heltham bin Tariq Al Said for the altruistic and noble benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty shower His choicest blessings on His Majesty, and may this nation experience peace and everlasting prosperity.
We are happy to welcome all the students, parents, and teachers for being a part of Avenir 2022, #Discover You. Thank you one and all for your benign presence here this evening. It is a sheer joy and great pride that I take the task of introducing our speaker today, Miss Bindu Subramaniam. She has a PhD in music education, an MPhil, a master's certificate in songwriting and music business, a diploma in Montessori education, BALLB, LLM, and completed the Stanford Seed Transformation Program. She is an entrepreneur, singer, songwriter, educator, and author. Co-founder CEO of Sapa, the lead vocalist of Subramania and the Tair Sadam project. She is an icon of South India 2021-22 by the Femina magazine and won the 2022 Women Who Lead National Award for CEO of the Year, Art and Music. She has delivered multiple TEDx talks, has a regular column with the New Indian Express, and writes for the Economic Times HR, The Hindu, Education World, and other outlets. We would like to request the audience to kindly post your queries in the Q&A box. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join me in welcoming our speaker, Dr. Bindu Balasubramaniam, who will be talking on the topic, the future of music, arts, and cultural education and how to choose a path. The platform is all yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Thank you for the insights. One small correction, my name is Bindu Subramaniam, not Bindu Balasubramaniam. So
I'm sorry, ma'am.
I'm really delighted to be spending some time with you this morning. And I feel that the best conversations are the ones that are interactive. So I'm going to request the moderators to keep their cameras on, the MCs to keep their cameras on, so I have somebody that I can look at when I'm having this conversation. And those of you in the audience, the moment you have a question or you have a thought, I would love to hear it. I'm assuming that most of you are students, some of you might be parents and teachers. So everybody who took the time to be here this morning, welcome and thank you. When we talk about careers, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us when we're really young to have the right answer, to know what we want to be. And, we can decide what we want to be. And based on what we want to be, we decide what we're going to study. We decide where we're going to go. And we kind of need to have our entire path mapped out for us, right? So when I was young, I didn't have this stress because I had decided. I knew. When I was about 4 years old, someone told me, I think it was my father, you know what, you talk a lot. So maybe you should be a lawyer. You could make a living out of arguing with people. And I thought, okay, that's a good idea. My 4-year-old brain seemed to think that that made a lot of sense. So I decided that I wanted to be a lawyer. And every decision that I made going forward from there was based on this premise that my 4-year-old brain had made, that I want to be a lawyer. So when it was Halloween, I went trick-or-treating, and guess what my costume was? I was a lawyer. And I had a little briefcase and I put candy in it. And when I started reading fiction books, I read all the John Grisham books that I could get my hand on, because he was writing about law. And I thought that this was really exciting, going into a courtroom, having these very impassioned arguments, saving people on death row, making sure justice is served. And so I kind of went through the motions, and I felt sorry for my friends who didn't know what they wanted to be, the ones who were 10, 12, 14, 16, and still sort of confused, because I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer. But here's the beautiful thing. I joined law school and I was halfway through doing, all the subjects that were necessary. I did company law, I did contract law, I did, family law. And then I realized that I don't want to be a lawyer. I had never stopped to think about whether I was genuinely passionate enough to be a lawyer. And what happened at that point is I went back to my parents and I said, you know what, I think I've realized now that I don't want to be a lawyer. And my dad was very practical. He said, okay, you don't want to be a lawyer, you don't have to be a lawyer. And I said, but don't worry, I'm going to finish my law degree. And he said, of course you're going to finish your law degree. There's no way I'm going to let you drop out. But a BA LLB cannot be your final degree. So you do your BA LLB, you do a master's in law, and then you decide if you don't want to be a lawyer. So I said, okay, I did a BA LLB, I did an LLM, and then I decided I didn't want to be a lawyer. But what did I want to be? Now, the main point of me telling you this is, one, to let you know that we all make mistakes and that's okay. But two, you don't have to know all the answers right now. It's not mandatory for you to be completely sure of everything that you want to do, right? You have many opportunities in front of you, more than any generation before this one has had. And as you go forward, more opportunities will arise, right? I know that in my parents' generation, the coolest thing to be was a doctor. In my generation, it was an engineer. In your generation, I think the opportunities that are before you are so vast and so broad that you could literally be anything you want, and many things that no one has thought of before. If you look at the arts overall, the opportunities in arts, humanities, music, culture, dance, theater, education are so different from what people thought. 10, 15 years ago, nobody thought that the job of an influencer could exist, right? And even now, sometimes when you think of an influencer, you think of somebody who's not necessarily very serious about what they're doing, and you'll probably think about a food blogger or a fashion influencer. But think of this. Have you heard of a company called PhysicsWala? That was a gentleman who started making YouTube videos. He made YouTube videos about physics because he brought together two different passions, and his passions were physics and making fun videos. And bringing those two things together, those two passions and those two interests that he had, bringing them together in a way that other people had not done before, he managed to create $1 billion business. So when you start thinking about what it is you want to do, take a second. Don't think about what you want to do, but think about who you are. What motivates you? What drives you? What brings you joy? Right? You hear a lot of these kind of billionaires who give you advice saying things like, follow your passion. And then Mark Cuban, the billionaire, came out recently and said, you know what? Don't follow your passion. Follow your hard work. Because your hard work is what will lead you to success. Right? Angela Duckworth, the very famous psychologist, said, you know, the secret to success is hard work and talent, which will get you to skill. But then skill plus hard work again will get you to success. So when you think about what it is that you want to do, don't just think about what is exciting to do, but think about what you're willing to do every single day, where you're willing to put in your hard work. So if you're thinking about being a musician, don't think about the red carpet events, but think about the fact that you're going to have to practice music every day. If you want to be a baker, don't imagine making the most fancy wedding cake in the world. Think about, will you be prepared to wake up every morning and make 100 cakes? Would you be willing to do this even when it's not the most exciting thing? So find your passions, but find your areas where you're willing to do hard work as well. And when you look at your first degree should actually be something that gives you an insight into the world. Today, as the MC was so kind as to point out, I've done a number of different degrees. I don't regret any of them, but I also run a company that I started. And this company teaches music education to 30,000 children across India, right? And through the Sapa in Schools program, we managed to look at how young people can be benefited by learning music, how music can bring about joy, how music can improve academic performance, how music can increase social emotional learning, how interdisciplinarity in music can help children understand core subjects better, right? How do music and math play together? How do music and science play together? What are the different languages we can sing in? We sing in 10 or 15 different languages. We understand different cultures because all of us are global citizens. Many of you are people of Indian origin living in Oman. You're already global citizens, right? And as you go forward into this world, you're taking multiple cultures with you. You're taking your Indianness with you. You're taking your exposure of living and being brought up in Oman with you. And then maybe you'll go to the US, maybe you'll go to Australia, maybe you'll come back to India, maybe you'll go to Dubai, right? So how do you prepare yourself for that world? And only if you are prepared for the world that you enter, will you be able to be successful at whatever you are. And as you go forward, now is the time to learn many things. I'm going to stop and ask you a question here, which I'm going to let either of my MCs answer. In the music school that I run, can you guess, I have 100 teachers who work with us today. Can you guess what the most common degree is that music teachers today have? Any guess? Or anyone can put it in the comments as well. Any thoughts? You don't have to give me the right answer, but just give me the answer that seems interesting to you. No? The most common educational degree that the 100 music teachers who work with me today have is an engineering degree. And that has absolutely nothing to do, at least on face value, with what they're doing today. But they got engineering degrees and then they came out and then they thought about what they wanted to do. So what your first degree is won't necessarily limit you in what you want to do in life. So think about what your passions are. Think about your skill areas, think about the different things that you want to learn. And colleges now are changing where you can have a focus on multiple subjects. If you look at universities in India like Azim Premji or Kriya or Ashoka, they're all focused on giving you interdisciplinary education. Most great universities around the world allow you to choose majors and minors where you're looking at different subjects, different areas. Did you know that Nobel Prize winners are 4 times more likely than normal scientists to have a background in art or music? What is that? That shows us that having an artistic bent, having a musical bent, having a background in the creative fields gives you an edge even when you're doing something like science or mathematics. Right? So this is the main point I wanted to make to all of you when you're looking at and choosing your careers, right? The other thing that I wanted to talk to you is, what does the landscape look like today in music, in dance, in art, in culture, in music? So you have an obvious opportunity to go ahead and do a bachelor's, master's, PhD in any of these subjects. That's a great opportunity. Or you could do an engineering degree and come into this, or you could do a medical degree and come into this. But think about how your skill sets can be brought together uniquely. I have a student of mine who was featured in Rolling Stone magazine, and she's a singer-songwriter, but she's also an artist. And the way that she brings art together with her music and her writing is very unique. I have another student who loves science and Lego. I see that you have Lego robotics at your school. He loves science and Lego, but he also loves music. So he was able to make a violin that actually plays. So when you create intersections that don't exist before, you're creating a unique space for yourself. Now, when you look at the performing arts, the most obvious space that you have is definitely performance, right? You can be a singer, you can be an instrumentalist, you can be a dancer, you can be an actor, and all of those are great, right? All of those are great. They may not necessarily be the easiest places to be successful, because for every one successful artist, there will be thousands who have struggled, right? Another great career option is to be an educator, where you perform, but you also teach. You teach people to be great songwriters. You teach people to be great singers. You teach people to be great dancers, actors. And now, in addition to live performance, you also have huge studio opportunities all around the world. In India, for example, we have some of the biggest film industries in the world, whether it's Bollywood or Tollywood or Collywood or Mollywood, depending on the language. All of these films need music. This music is worked on not by one person, but hundreds, right? You have the musicians, you have the composers, you have the lyricists, you have the singers. All of these people come together to create the ambience behind the movies that we watch. Any of these could be great career opportunities. You could be a producer. You could run a studio. You could be an audio engineer for live events, for recordings. You could be a programmer where you look at sound samples and bring them together. And whether you're doing rap or Malayalam film music, there is a huge opportunity and a huge range of music that exists today. And because of the way that music is distributed now, it's much easier to get your sound out there. You can create music and put it up on Spotify, and anyone in the world can hear you. You can create music and put it up on YouTube, on Instagram. And you don't even need to have long music. Now with Instagram Reels, you can create something that's 30 to 60 seconds long. And you can share that with the world and see what people say. You can be extremely interactive. You can ask people for ideas in what you could create and then create that. Another very interesting space around all of this is music business. When you have performers, when you have creators, when you have composers, there's also a way to create a business around it. Earlier, there used to be record labels. Now you have event managers, people who organize concerts, people who organize festivals. You still have labels in some sense, recording labels like Sony Music and BMG. In addition to that, most big organizations like Spotify, like YouTube, have musicians like Instagram. They hire them to handle the music business aspects because so many of creators on any of these platforms are musicians. So that's a very exciting, very cutting edge job. Working for Spotify or working for Instagram or working for Facebook is not a job that your parents would have thought of because these platforms didn't exist when we were young, right? But for you, these are new opportunities that have never existed. So when you look at the careers that exist in the future, you don't know what it's going to look like. But when you look at the opportunities today, think about what skills you could build in different areas that will give you something that nobody else has. Think about something that you would be willing to do every day that would make you passionate. Now, are you excited about mathematics and singing? Maybe there's an intersection there that nobody has ever thought of, and you could be the first. Are you excited about theater and physiotherapy? Maybe there's an intersection there that nobody has ever thought about. So when you look at your career, you don't need to have all of the answers. In fact, if you're 12 or 14 or 16 and you have all of the answers, I'm a little worried for you because I'm worried that you might end up like me with 8 degrees and still a lot of confusion about what I want to be when I'm old. I'm very grateful for the jobs that I do now. I'm very grateful for the experience I have, and everything that I have learned, every degree that I had has taught me enough to take me in different directions. So my advice to you, my request to you is keep an open mind, follow your passions, follow your dreams, but also chase it up with hard work. And at the end of the day, if you want to pursue the humanities, if you want to do arts, it's a great time. It's a more exciting time than ever before because of the opportunities that exist in this field. If you want to do science, great. We're on the cutting edge of so many revolutions. If you want to do commerce, if you want to run a business, if you want to be a chartered accountant, wonderful. Make a space for yourself that is unique and work harder than anybody else. Thank you for listening to me, and I would love to answer any questions that you have or any comments that you might have. I think we have a few minutes for that. Thank you.
That was an extraordinary and inspiring session by you, ma'am. Your creative session enlightened us and kept each one of us engaged. Now, we would like to request our speaker, Dr. Bindu, to kindly answer a few queries put forth by the audience. For this, may I now invite the moderator of this session, Ms. Shanti Krishnan, to pose some questions from the audience to you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Valentina. Ma'am, we appreciate your involvement and thank you so much for sparing the valuable time for the session. So here I have few questions in the chat box that I would like to put forward. So here we go with the first question. Music and arts are usually considered as a passion rather than profession. So would this be a beneficial path if students choose their profession as their career? Could you please?
That's a very interesting question. And like you said, it's something that many people are concerned about. How do I pursue a passion and still earn a living? So what we see now is there are certain areas which are incredibly stable. So if you want to be a performer, you're not sure if you'll get 100 concerts. You can never be sure, but you have to be the best and you have to put yourself out there. But if you look at music education, if you look at music business, look at creating a scenario where you aren't just one thing. If you want your passion to be your profession, look at 4 or 5 different areas in music where you can create your living. Learn a little bit about music business, understand how your social media works, understand how publishing works, understand how contracts work, be a music creator. Use all of these things to your advantage, and I promise you it is a sustainable livelihood.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. So I have one more question. Will there be any scope for the long run as there are fluctuations in this field when compared to other branches of professional courses?
Well, I would feel that there are fluctuations in any field right now. If you look at the Indian job scene right now, or the worldwide recession that people are talking about, there are literally tens of thousands of engineers who are being laid off around the world. If you look at the edtech bubble bursting, you are hearing about Byju's laying off 2,500 people, Vedantu laying off thousands of people. So I don't think that there is any field which is more secure or less secure than something else. But people always appreciate art. People always need teachers. People will always need doctors, right? There are certain things which go without saying that will always exist. So for the last thousands of years, they've always been poets. For centuries, they've always been musicians. So if you're smart about crafting a way where you can earn a livelihood, irrespective of the market fluctuations, irrespective of the seasons that change, you will be able to survive.
All right, thank you so much. A student is asking that, ma'am, if parents are not supportive of a career into arts or music, can students go for 2 parallel courses?
Yes, absolutely. And this is what I was talking about as well, right? Look at different areas that can intersect. And if your parents are not supportive of a career in arts or music, it usually comes from a point of fear. It comes from a place where they are concerned that you may not be able to support yourself. So look for facts. Find information on how you will be able to support yourself. Go to them and say, if I'm excited in music, I can be a performer, I can be a studio engineer, I can be a producer, I can be a composer, I can be an educator. I can do so many things, and I promise you that I can have a career and I can take care of myself. I can also study something else, right? So look for ways where you can create alignment, or you can convince your family members of why this is important, why it's important for you to pursue something that you're passionate about, because you'll work harder at it than you will at anything else. So if you are able to find an area where your parents support you and pursue your music at the same time, great. But also make sure that your parents and your family understand that this is just not an excuse for you taking it easy. but you intend to do hard work and you know what you're doing and you know that the opportunities exist out there. Good luck.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering all the questions, and that's all for today. You can provide your feedback on the Avenir website, www.avenirroman.com. We request the participants to kindly fill in the feedback form posted on the chat box window and website both. So every attendee who submits the feedback form will get a digital certificate. Thank you, ma'am. Over to Adelicia.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for all your supporting guidance given to the large audience by attending to their concerns so patiently during the discussion. The time for us to move on to the second part of the session. It's time to meet the university spokesperson, Ms. Ayushi Jaiswal, with the topic, "We welcome you to stand out to enlighten us with the various codes and the procedures." Let me tell you about a short profile about her. Senior Counselor at SP Jain School of Global Management for undergraduate programs. She is having a decade's experience in counseling based in Dubai campus, United Arab Emirates. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone, respected students, teachers, and parents who have joined us for the session today. Thank you for the introduction as well. So my name is Ayushi, and I handle the undergraduate programs at SP Jain School of Global Management, Dubai campus. All right, so firstly, I would also like to thank the board of directors at Avenir. And once again, a note of thanks for everyone who's taken out time on a Sunday morning to join us. So a special note of thanks on that. So without any further delay, we would start the session. So a quick introduction about the school. So we are an Australian business school, and we have our campuses here in Dubai, Mumbai, Singapore, and Sydney. Now, in the flow of the session, we would like to present to you a couple of things. That is, the various programs that we offer. How can you stand out when you study these programs with us at SP Jain? So without any delay, I would like to start off with the presentation. So yes, so SP Jain welcomes you to stand out. Let us take a look at how you can stand out. So we have two students. One is Sam D'Souza. He has completed his BBA. He joined in some XYZ business school in the year 2015, and he joined the Bachelor's of Business Administration program. Let us take a look at his education and work experience with the XYZ business school. So 2015 is when he joined in Singapore in the business school. So 2015 to 2019, as you can see, he studied in Singapore campus. So the 4 years, this is what he did. He studied in the business school for Singapore campus. Let us now take a look at the other student, Ms. Anjani Kapoor, who joined us at SP Jain School of Global Management for the program Bachelor's of Business Administration. She joined us in the year 2015. Let us take a look at her education and work experience. 2015 to 16 is when she joined our Singapore campus. She interned at Philips Asian Singapore. 2016 to 17 is when she studied in our Dubai campus. She interned at Philips Lighting Middle East. And 2017 to 18, she studied in our Sydney campus, wherein she interned at Excel Blue Sydney campus. And 2018 to 19, again, she studied in our Sydney campus, and she has been finally placed at MediaCom in Sydney. Now let us take a look at her special achievements. She was the head organizer at TEDx SP Jain Sydney. She has been placed second out of 300 bloggers across Singapore, Sydney, and Dubai. She has been part of the MIT Bootcamp and has an acceptance rate of 10%, was selected to be one of 93 participants. She has secured first place in an international business plan pitching competition, wherein there were participants from 20 plus countries. So you can see the distinguished achievements that she has had. She has just not studied, that is, it is just not her academic achievements that she's had with us, but you can see the extracurriculars and the internship and all other achievements that she had along with studying. So that this shows a very clear difference, as in how you can stand out. So she is Anjani, and there's a short video from her and a small message, and nothing better to hear it from her itself. So let us take a look at what she wants to convey to you. So I'll just play the video.
Excuse me, I'm sorry for disturbing, but it's not audible.
Okay. I have shared the audio settings as well. Just a minute.
Hi everyone, my name is Anjani.
Now is it audible?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sure. Then I'll just play the video.
And I graduated from the BBA course majoring in marketing. I'm currently working in MediaCom Sydney, which is a part of the WPP group of companies, which is one of the largest advertising agency in the world. The Tri-City model by SP Jain is such a wonderful opportunity for you all to capitalize on for two main reasons. The first one being the curriculum that is delivered by the experienced professors are formulated in such a way that when you enter the real world, you're equipped with your own toolkit. Secondly, after every year, you've got 4 months of vacation. You've got all the opportunity to work in 3 different countries. So please make maximum use of it, irrespective if you're planning to join your family business or the corporate world. For some context, I'll tell you what I did. During my first year in Singapore, I interned in Philips Lighting in the marketing and sales team. In Dubai, I got an opportunity to continue working with them. After my 3rd year, I went to Harvard University to explore and learn more about marketing and entrepreneurship because I wanted to do something different that year. During my time in Sydney, I also went to the MIT Entrepreneurship and Innovation Bootcamp in February 2019, which was held in Brisbane. I also interned in Excel Blue, which is a technological startup. Apart from my internships, during the 4 months in university, please take the lead to organize events. SP Jain is very supportive and encourages all types of initiative. To be honest, it's so rare to be given such a unique opportunity as SP Jain has to offer to mold you to become such a confident person. So please make use of it. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful time. Please feel free to contact me if you need any advice or help. Don't forget to have fun. Good luck.
So Anjani is not the only one. We have a lot of other students. Let's take a profile. Let's take a short look at the profile of other students. So we have Adit. Year 1, he studied in our Singapore campus. He also interned in Singapore. He has interned as a research assistant intern in Smilesmith Dental Services. Year 2, he studied in our Dubai campus, interned in Dubai as a finance and accounts intern with Emirates NBD. Year 3, he studied in Australia, interned in Australia as a private equity intern in PMBA Capital Partners, Sydney. Year 4, he studied in Australia and has been finally placed in Australia as financial advisory with Grant Thornton, Sydney. We have Rohan with us. So year 1, Rohan studied in Singapore campus, also interned in Singapore as marketing and analyst intern in DSMC. Year 2, he studied in Dubai, interned in Dubai as marketing and communications intern at WWF, and also as a paid social intern with Ogilvy. Year 3, he studied in Australia, also interned in Australia as performance media intern in Publicis Media. And he's also worked as a campaign planner at Grants Challenge with Google. Year 4, he studied in Australia and has been finally placed in Australia as social coordinator in the Australian government. Then we have Kalyani. So year 1, she studied in Singapore, interned in Singapore as sales and marketing executive in Speech Academy Asia, Singapore, and she's also interned with Equinix. Year 2, she studied in Dubai, interned in Dubai as data entry intern with SPJ in Dubai. Year 3, she studied in Australia, interned in Australia as retail sales assistant. And year 4, she's currently studying in Australia in our Sydney campus. So what do we mean by, when we want to show you all the profiles of the students who have studied and what are their achievements, is just for you to understand that, yes, it can be you, so the world of opportunity also waits. And in fact, we have 2 students, from the Indian Schools group who are studying with us currently, in fact, who joined us this year. So we have Alan John from Indian School Al Mabila, and we have Aditya Damodar Katti from Indian School Muscat. Aditya joined us for the Bachelor's in Business Administration program in our Singapore campus, and Alan has joined us for the Bachelor's of Data Science program in our Sydney campus. So just thought of sharing these information with you because they are students from Oman. And since we're interacting with students and parents and teachers from Oman, this is important for you to know. Let us move on to the next part. That is, what do we mean when we say you will stand out? And how? So it's through a unique combination of in-classroom activities and out-of-classroom activities. Come, let us go on a journey. So there are a lot of activities that you will be doing besides studying. So there are a lot of out-of-classroom activities that you'll be doing. So let us take a look at a small video and you will get to know what are the activities that our students have done in the Singapore campus and what all they will do across all the campuses that we have. I hope it's audible.
Yes, ma'am, it's audible.
Okay, sure. Then I'll play the video. So there we saw the different activities that you will be having as part of your out of classroom activities. So there was paintball, industrial visits, visit to the golf park, and a lot of team building activities. So as the video clearly said, 2 months and 50 plus activities. So we do ensure that you have fun as well along with studies. So yes, and intercultural events, welcome parties, we encourage you to proactively take part in them, because it is very important that you are part of these activities, and you open up. It helps you in your profile building going ahead. Your peer connect is stronger. You get to understand your peers from different parts of the world, being part of the cultures that they are from. So we do encourage these things at SP Jain. So now let's move on to the next part. So yes, the next part of the presentation is basically you will get an understanding how your classroom, experience would be like at your daily, basically your day-to-day classroom experience is what it would look like. So just want you to take a look at this video.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. John Lodewicks. I am the Vice President Academic of the SP Jain School of Global Management. I want to share with you about the classroom of the future. The classroom of the future that we have today at SP Jain. We call it the Engaged Learning Classroom, or ELC.
Morning, Jaguars! Good morning! Okay, it's wonderful to see all of you. So let's continue where we left off in our last class. In our last class, we talked about data privacy, we talked about ethics in business. And I'd ask you to read an article about the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, which just erupted this year in March. So let's go into the
World Economic Forum, in its Future of the Jobs report, identified complex problem-solving, critical thinking, and creativity as the top 3 skills of 2020. But here's where the problem lies. Traditional classrooms don't really do a good job when it comes to developing these skills. What we have done at SP Jain is something quite innovative and different. We've created this learning ecosystem called the Engaged Learning Classroom that focuses on helping students develop the skills they will actually use to work. Skills like problem solving, communication, teamwork, critical thinking, creativity, and business intelligence. So unlike a traditional classroom where you take notes and you watch a PowerPoint, in the ELC, you will discuss, you will debate, you will argue, and you will ideate. And faculty will engage you by asking questions. Questions like, what would you do if you were the CEO of a business that is not doing well? Or how would you expand your business across a new market?
So as we've seen, Facebook has been in the news recently for quite a number of scandals, most importantly for breaching data privacy and election interfering. I would like you to imagine that you are the CEO of Facebook, you are Mark Zuckerberg, put yourself in his shoes. How are you going to assure your investors, your customers, and your shareholders that you have their best interest at heart? Please come up with one integrated solution to address 3 areas. Government regulation, your own customer base, as well as the branding of Facebook. You've got 2 minutes. Time is up. Let's have a look at all the responses. Okay, I think we've got some great responses here. Let's do a quick poll on the top 3. So Sarah, what have you voted for and why did you make that choice?
I voted to have data regulated, and to be honest, I don't think Facebook is solely responsible for the data breach.
It's nothing like what you would expect to do in an undergraduate program. You will be cold called, you will be challenged to really think and make smart decisions. You will participate in polls and quizzes. One thing is for sure, you won't find yourself in the middle of a boring lecture.
That's an interesting point. I think Keegan wants to ask a question.
Yeah, Sarah has a very interesting viewpoint and I'm all for the regulation changes. But as the CEO, I would take accountability, outline fixtures, and focus on reassuring my customers that we are very serious about protecting their data. I really like the fact that there is a spirit of healthy competition in the class. We are constantly challenging each other to step out of our comfort zone and think out of the box. We are active, invested, and really on our toes.
I think both your points are excellent. Now, what I would like to do is I would like all of us to get together in groups and to figure out whether Facebook should be split up, because currently it is occupying a monopoly. If we're splitting up Facebook, then we can...
The questions are drafted in such a way that you have to step out of the shoes of a student and into the shoes of a business leader. And using whatever information you have and drawing upon the concepts that you've learned from the classes, you have to frame your solutions. Over a period of time, you really start to understand what makes businesses tick, why leaders make the decisions they make, and how they can creatively solve a problem. Now, if you're responsible for the next phase of Facebook's growth, what would you do first? What would be your #1 priority? Please submit your responses using your tablets. An exciting feature of the Engaged Learning Classroom are the tablets that you see students using. These tablets are equipped with features that allow you to virtually interact with faculty while the class is in progress. You can virtually raise your hand to ask a question. You can ask the faculty to slow down or go faster. You can participate in a quiz or a poll. You can take notes and you can share your documents in real time. You can bookmark a lecture and watch it later from the comfort of your home, a cafe, or wherever you are. So how do we know that students actually develop the skills that are needed to do well at work?
We have a learning analytics app. We call it Scoreboard. And what it does is it measures the students' achievement of business skills.
Are you in the top 10% of the class in creative thinking? Do you need to improve your business intelligence? How are you faring in critical thinking? Scoreboard keeps track of your performance every single day and lets you know how well you are doing versus the rest of the class.
Hi, Prof. I was just looking at my scoreboard and I don't think I'm doing very good in creativity.
You seem to be doing really well in terms of critical thinking and business intelligence. In fact, you are in the top 10% of the class. I also thought you made a really good point today when you talked about business ethics. What I could do is I could send you some case studies. You could go through them and we could discuss them later this week. And I can also give you some additional practice material to work on. I like to think of the ELC as a gymnasium, where you come in every day, exercise your brain, build your creative stamina, and train yourself to think like a business leader. And the scoreboard as a weighing scale that lets you know exactly how you're progressing.
You get to know the facts, how good you are at creativity, what you need to do to improve your critical thinking skills. You really get to figure out your strengths and weaknesses and take all the right steps to improve your game. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yes. So it is indeed a classroom of the future. So as you could see very clearly from the video, there is, we do not use the traditional methods, that is pen and paper. No, you have devices. We have a technology which is engaged learning classroom. Through that technology, your devices, that is your tablets, are embedded with that technology, and everything is available with a click and tap on the device. Even your performance will be monitored by the devices that you're connected to. So your faculty will definitely keep a record of your performance, and even during the classroom when the session is on, any questions you have or you want to raise a query, you can just do that with a click. That is, you will have an option to raise a hand on your device, and you do that. The faculty would see that on the screen available in front of him or her, and then you answer the question. So yes, this is how your classroom experience would look like on a day-to-day basis. Now let us move on to the next part. So this video that I'm going to play now will show basically the diversity of students that we have. So by diversity, what we mean is that, you will be having peers from, across the world. We have students who are studying with us and who belong to different parts of the world. So let us just take a look at this short video.
Mabuhay! We're from the Philippines and we're part of Class 2019.
Hi, we're from South Korea.
Hi, I'm Jaya from Dubai.
Hello everybody, my name is Joel and I'm from Finland.
I'm from Mexico. Hi, my name is Aida and I'm from Kyrgyzstan.
Hi, I'm Serena from Italy.
Hi, I'm Kyujin and I'm also from South Korea.
Hi, I'm Shruti. I'm an Indian, but I used to reside in Dubai.
Hi, I'm Monica from Poland.
And I'm from Mongolia. Also, you can call me Josie or Ether Ninjin.
Hi, I'm Christine from Philippines.
Hi, I'm Una and I'm from South Korea.
Hi, I'm from the Dominican Republic.
Hi, I'm Aino. I'm from Finland.
Hi, from Kazakhstan.
We are the class of 2019.
So yes, as I mentioned, you will be studying the program with students and with your peers from across the world. So which only helps you to understand the different cultures and backgrounds that, your peers are coming from. And besides, this will also enable you to work in global teams going forward. So yes, that was the video. Now, let us look at the programs that we offer at the undergraduate level. So we have two programs. One is the Bachelor's in Business Administration, and the other one is the Bachelor's in Data Science program. So the Bachelor's in Business Administration is a 4-year Tri-City program. You can study the program in 4 different campuses. This is what we mean when we say it's a 4-year Tri-City program. So year 1, you have an option to choose between Singapore or Mumbai. Year 2, you will be studying in Dubai. Year 3 and year 4, you will be studying in our Sydney campuses. So yes, that's how it makes it to the 4-year Tri-City model. And you have majors in marketing, finance, and entrepreneurship. So these are the majors that you can choose from. Basically, year 1, you study all the modules. You will be given a brief about, you will have an idea, an overview of all the modules that you would be covering. And year 2, year 3, and year 4 is when you study your majors. So year 2, you're selecting your majors among marketing, finance, or entrepreneurship. You have opportunities to pursue summer internships and exchange programs, and you graduate with an Australian degree and an option to apply for 2 years post-study work right in Australia. We'll also take a look at what post-study work right is when we go along the flow. But before that, I'll just cover the programs first. And these are some top recruiters for BBA. Some top employment locations for the Bachelor's of Business Administration program are Singapore, UAE, India, Thailand, Vietnam, Mauritius, and Belize. And these are some of the top recruiters where our students are working. So you can see there's ACY Securities, Bath & Body Works, Digital Hub, there is Homies, Naritas, Oakley, SBI Australia, Wahan. So this is the list which is pretty much in front of you. Also, not to forget, we have KPMG, we have Deloitte, we have, and Amazon as well, who are also part of our top recruiters. So moving on to the second program that we offer, that is Bachelor's in Data Science. This is a 3-year multi-city program. You have two options to complete this program. Option 1 is you study year 1 in Mumbai, year 2, year 3, you move to Sydney. Option 2, you study all 3 years in Sydney. So with this program, you have an in-depth exposure to data science, which is data mining, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and capstone projects, and a lot of other progressive modules. You will have access to the data science labs. You will have opportunities to pursue projects and global internships. For this program, we have been ranked #1 in India by the Analytics India magazine, and the program is accredited by Data Science Council of America, which means after you complete this program, you can apply for a certification from the Data Science Council of America in order to enhance your employability. And you graduate with an Australian degree and the option to apply for 2 years post-study work right in Australia. These are some top recruiters for data science. You have Macquarie, you have FirstCry, you have HDFC Ergo, you have Nexon, you have Amazon. We have students who are working with Amazon as business analysts. Basically, they had first, back their internship with Amazon, which they converted into a full-time job. So they are now finally placed with Amazon. Let us take a look at the graduate success of the 2020 batch. So over 40% of our students have secured jobs in Australia within 3 months of graduation. And these are the salary figures of our students. So 60,000 Australian dollar is the average graduate salary for a BBA student. And 85,000 Australian dollar is the average graduate salary of a data science student. Yes, now we can actually understand what post-study work rights are. So the post-study work right is an attractive outcome of graduating with a bachelor's degree from SP JAIN, which means on completing 2 years of full-time academic study in Australia, SP JAIN students are eligible to apply for a work visa that allows them to live and work in Australia. It's simple. It means after completing your graduate studies with us, you can live and work in Australia for 2 years. Coming to the admissions process. So we have 3 steps that comprises our admissions process. The first step being you need to submit your application online. Step 2 is you need to appear for an entrance test that we conduct, which is the SP JAIN's aptitude test. This aptitude test includes a business creativity test like essay, case discussion, followed by a personal interview. And step 3, you will be informed of 3 possible outcomes: offer, waitlist, or reject. And these are our contact details. My colleague, Ms. Medha, and my name is Ayushi. You can take down our contact details, and going forward, you can be in touch with us. We'll be happy to help you with all your queries, and we'll be also happy to assist you in your application process. Another thing that I also wanted to add on was the scholarship opportunities. We do have, a very attractive scholarship opportunities, for our students. So if you have a score of 95 and above in your board examinations, you can actually be eligible to apply with us for 100% scholarship, which means you will not be paying the tuition fees. You will just end up paying only your cost of living, your accommodation, and your personal expenses. So yes, that is a very big motivation for you, do study hard, do well, and, motivation for you to score 95 and above, then you can definitely be eligible to apply with us for 100% scholarship. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the informative session, ma'am. And we are sure that the process of exploring and inquiring has begun in the minds of my friends and parents. I am sure there is bound to be few questions. Let us take up 1 or 2 of them. Over to the moderator.
Good morning to all. Let me quickly scan the questions received in the chat box, ma'am. So here comes the first question. Will the university provide any additional support for any extra classes for the students?
Yes, ma'am. So,
yes,
yes, thank you for the question. So we do have, as we mentioned, we do have a lot of out of classroom activities. So yes, if a child requires additional support, additional guidance in terms of their academic, in terms of coping up with the studies with us, yes, we do provide the additional support.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. And here we go with the second question. Will the students need any additional requirements for his or her career? Could you please explain?
Additional requirements, so basically, ma'am, we do have a lot of profile building sessions once a student joins us at SP Jain. So students will be groomed on, basically they'll have sessions to have how to write a resume, how to appear for interviews, how to appear, there will be career talks, we will have guest speakers. So these are all the sessions that we will, organize for our students, which will help them in their profile building.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. So the one last question, is it worth applying for more than one course in your university?
Yes, ma'am. We do have 2 programs at the undergraduate level. So depending on the interest of the child, the child can go ahead and apply with us for either of these 2 programs. And we have, it's all our programs that we offer, they are global in nature. As you can see, they are just not in one campus. They are moving across different campuses of the world. And, these locations that we have campuses in, they're just not ordinary locations. It's Mumbai, it's Sydney, it's Dubai, so these are all the influential locations, where they get to understand a lot about the market as well. So it gives an all-rounded approach. So yes, it is definitely worth it to go ahead and apply for both of these programs, depending on the interest of the child.
Yes, ma'am, well explained. All right, so that's all for today. You can provide your valuable feedback on the Avenir website, www.avenirroman.com. We request the participants to kindly fill in the feedback form posted on the chat box window and the website both. Every attendee who submits the feedback form will receive a digital certificate. Thank you, ma'am, and over to you, ma'am CT.
As we draw the end of this enriching session, I deem it my great privilege to propose the vote of thanks. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Ms. Bindu Subramaniam, for all her words of motivation. Thank you, ma'am. We express our gratitude for Ms. Aishi Jaiswal, spokesperson for the SPJN University, for sharing us the details and giving us an overview of the career guidance. Thank you, ma'am. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Chairman Dr. Shivakumar Manikam and the members on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools of Oman. Our heartfelt thanks to the President, Mr. Ajayan Poyara, and members of the Indian School Management Committee and the Principal of the school, Dr. Bhavesh Balaram. Our heartfelt thanks to our Platinum sponsor, JAIN deemed to be University, Gold sponsor, DEMO 4 University, Silver sponsors, Dallas Baptist University, USA, Grey Matters, SBJN School of Global Management, Sri Ramachandra University of Higher Education and Research, Bronze sponsors, Middle East College, SPJN School of Global Management, Digital Marketing Partner, Spectrum and Trifoil. Media Partner, The Arabian Stories and Valued Donors. Powered by Support Sponsors. Over to the video. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. Thank you to the ISB team for making Avani 2022 possible. Thank you to the teachers, students, and parents for being a support for this session. We wish you all a glorious day ahead. You can provide your feedback on the Avani website, www.avaniroman.com. Every attendee who submits a feedback form will receive a digital certificate. See you in the next session. Stay tuned and stay safe.